Hello everyone, I'm Simone and we're going to talk about sketching and mood boards today. I'll share my screen. Full screen. Okay, so we're at the stage where you've got your concept and you need to make a story. You've met the client and you've read the brief. You understand the brief. You know who your client is and what the competitive landscape is. And what we mean by landscape is all those brands you found in the area of your company. So that's the competitive landscape. And you know who your target audience is. Who is the next person who's going to interact with your brand? So step 3, you set the tone. You create a strong mood board. Brand pillars and guideposts have to be in place. And in this case, we're talking about descriptor words for the brand, and we're calling them brand values. But it's interesting to see here that in industry, they might call them brand pillars or guideposts. We're calling them brand values. Then you create a mood board, and this is what I wanted to show you. Look at these beautiful mood boards. Look how creative they are. Every mood board here is completely different. They're made up with little found objects and things. They're not just 7 downloaded images from the internet. So you could do it this way as well. We'd like to see your mood boards, every single one looking different, so that not one person's mood board would be the same as anyone else's. This one we might know from the car and the suitcases on top and the suitcase here and carry on and the map here that it's probably something like a travel agent, or it could be a luggage shop, and little bits of colour down the bottom are nice, the colour palette to come. At the end, when we put your logo, when you've created your logo, you should be able to put it down here and it belongs to the page. It doesn't look out of place. This one is a t-shirt series illustration mood board. So a company that's making t-shirts, and this is the way they want to go. This mood board could be a haberdashery, probably with the little cottons and things. So mood boards are originated in probably architecture and interior design. Well, in the design industries, they use them a lot more than graphic designers do or communication designers. But we could get into them more and more. And in industry, they are, especially for branding, because it's going to be a long process into the future. And you need to think about what all the elements, the colours, the forms of photography, the forms of illustration are going to be. You can see lots of little bits and found objects. In industry, when I worked in a big design firm, we might get a photo of, let's say, this desk and put it on, and we'd ask the client to bring in their postcards from their desk or things they think really show their brand. And they might bring in a picture of a coffee pot, and you put that on, and then you might swap and change and take some things off and take some things on, depending on what people want on their going forward in their brand. Look at this one. It's very dark and moody. It doesn't look like the typical mood board, but it is a mood board, and maybe it's for a film or maybe it's for a fashion show. We don't know. See if you can guess. Another bright and colourful one could be for a pub or a cafe or a surfing competition. The client might say, I don't want the bird there, so you would take it off. So you don't just do it and have it set. You often talk to the client about it and make a change. So you've got your mood boards, and remember, we want everyone's to look different. Now we're up to brainstorming. Don't be precious. The more ideas, brainstorming as in sketches as well. This is what we're calling the 50 sketches stage, the brainstorm. Don't be precious. The more ideas you have, the better. Put them all down. Don't stop at the first 1 or 2 you think of. That's typical for branding designers to begin with. You do 1, 2, 3 or 4 or 5 and think, that's it, done. And you go with that one. But in industry, in a big branding studio, they'll want you to put at least 50. Sometimes all 7 people will put 50 ideas down, and they'll collect 1,000 ideas and group them and sort them. So you really have to go wide. It's like digging for gold. Which is the best idea? And you've got to dig many different holes to find the gold rather than just go, that's it, and dig deeply. So you might start with words. You might be the kind of person who likes to doodle with words like this. You might have voice and counsel and activate. You could do your naming process this way, which you've probably already done, but still I'm showing you what we'd like in your folio and how it works in industry. Sketches, you might start with words or you might start with sketches. So you can see here the word counsel. So they've just written the word counsel, and then they start to, could it be this way? Could it be done this way? Or what about spirograph? Oh, I'll draw some spirograph. So words and images. Maybe they're starting to already think, how could they arrange the lettering of this brand mark? Could we split the word? Could there be lots of dots? Stepping stones. How could I visualize the word stepping stones? Here's another little stepping stones. More little images. Could counsel be done like this or like this? Twigged. Maybe we could go with the word twigged. So twigged could have this around it, or it could have a little starburst and have twigged with lovely long G. So getting a flavour. And in industry, you would often, at the end, if you've come up with a brand that's not quite right, we often come back to these sketches and your art director would say, but you haven't got the energy of this little, you haven't got the long G's. That's why it's not working. Let's modify the typeface to get the right energy of your original drawing. So it doesn't matter how you want to get the ideas down. The point is to get as many ideas down and in whatever form works for you. And you could photograph some pages and upload them into discussion board. So all we're looking for is pages like this, but you might collect them all. Just get them up into discussion board and we will help to refine into 3 directions. So this week is still presentation, but next week we're going to have the 50 sketches and we'll help to choose the best 3 directions for you to move forward on. So that's all for mood boards and sketching. Lots of ideas we want to see. Bye.